Good morning.
Good morning, Kristen.
How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. It's Tuesday. It's been a busy morning. I already had two one-on-ones with new people that just networking, meeting new people from Alignable. So that was good. One of the guys, he's local to me. He says he's gonna stop in and meet me in person. So, and he's already PNC licensed. He's life licensed too, but he's using his life license. But he said I'm not using my PNC. So I don't know. After I heard that, I was like, all right. So I kind of like stepped it up a little bit talking to him. And he was very
That
high, like like he gets life. Like so. Anyways, he says he's gonna stop in and meet. So hopefully, I got a new agent. We'll see.
that is totally awesome. Like for right now, uh, for PNC, what it now I know you do like Texas for yourself, and I believe you are available to Arizona. But are those the only states that you do property and casualty right now?
No, we just got our Pennsylvania yesterday. So I'm going to be working on carriers in Pennsylvania. We're in seven right now. We got Washington, Oklahoma, California. I wrote a list yesterday. I was like, I got to start keeping up because now I can't even remember. Arizona, Texas, California, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Washington, and Rhode Island. And
Wow.
waiting on, I've already applied, but waiting on Georgia, Wisconsin. I'm waiting on four more. And then after that, I'm going to start working on Florida and New York. California was such a pain in my butt. I was like, I'm going to do some easy states before I get into.
Yeah, but will New York be an easy state? New York is a pain in the behind
That's
for
what I'm saying.
everything.
Yeah. Whenever I
Yeah,
got stuck on California, I just stopped even working with any of the states because I was like, until I get this, it took me 2 months. And I was getting so frustrated. So I was like, I'm not doing nothing else till I get this California license. So then I did some easy states. So I was like, all right, after I get these ones done, I'm going to look at New York and Florida because I know that's going to take time.
right, right. Because even when I did Primerica
Hmm.
years ago, the we were in Jersey, and then they finally decided to do property and casualty. And I remember it was called Owen's Army. That was the name of the team. And Owen had a huge New York team, and they were kicking the butt out of everybody because they had already been doing property and casualty.
Oh,
So when property and casualty became available, they were kicking people's butt. They were like the number one
I bet.
team. And
Wow.
whenever you look at stuff, it says and New York, and New York, and New York. So even before he moved to Arizona, I was talking to Kenny about how does he handle his New York people.
Yeah.
And quite often he says he meet him in New Jersey. I got a client in Georgia. Georgia's a pain in the butt. Um, First of all, it's expensive.
Is it? I didn't realize.
It's like $120.
Oh, the license. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's $120. Then I paid the $120. I get this. You got to check off. Remember when we was talking with Gabriel about getting set up with F&G, and it
Yeah.
said if you're in Georgia, you had to check off that form because
Mm-hmm.
there's a particular form. So
Mm-hmm.
last night I'm sleeping, I get a email from NIPR that says you got to go get this form notarized in order to get approved in
I
Georgia.
know. So annoying. Like, come on, bro.
Uh, yeah, so on top of it being $120 plus, then I had to go to Notary Public this morning and get that signed off, and then
I'm excited you about to be in Georgia because I'm waiting on our Georgia license too. We're about to take over Georgia and Pennsylvania.
yeah, yeah. So being that you're in Pennsylvania, what does that mean?
We're about to. You got a car? You need some car insurance? I can quote you.
Yeah,
I can quote your friends. Quote everybody you want.
well, quote me whenever you're ready.
Yes, I will. I will. We're licensed, so I am going to be working on the carriers. Actually,
Okay, you don't have the
I already
carriers.
have one company that offers all three auto, home, and business insurance. So really, technically, I'm already ready. If you wanted to send me anything, I could send it into them today and get you quotes. So you
Okay,
just,
yeah, my home, uh, they're not connected
okay.
right now. So because when I went to get my mortgage, I was with State Farm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was with State Farm, and um, Pennsylvania is such a screwed up state.
I
Certain,
know some of these states are their laws are
well,
so weird.
yeah, because it's Commonwealth, and there was some technicalities, and we were going to close and couldn't get it done. And fortunately, the lady that was working with me, her daughter worked for Travelers, and they was able to push it through Travelers. And I haven't even. That's one of those things I probably should have went and just. But when something is
You just
okay,
need
you don't
it.
even think. Yeah, you don't think about it. So I haven't thought about changing it. Uh, I will now.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I mean,
so
and all we're gonna do is see if we got anything better, and if we don't, you're good. Like,
yeah, yeah, that is good. That is good. That is good to hear.
yep,
That is good to hear.
we is in business. I love it.
Bank of America president or owner said in February they're expecting a 40% drop in business this
Really?
year. 40%. So when you look
Losing?
at the,
Are they losing business? Just curious to like Chime and like these other like online banking systems. You're not sure.
I,
Okay, sorry.
I don't remember off the top of my head,
It may not have
but
even said. I just thought about that.
no, it makes a lot of sense, Kristen, because again, those type of places are going to take over. Because if you're doing everything digitally, you don't need a brick and mortar bank.
Yeah.
And more and more young people ain't going to no bank. See, we grew up going to the bank to cash out checks.
That's where it was kind of starting.
That's why when I got my job, it wasn't. I'm trying to think. Did I have direct deposit? I don't think I did. It wasn't no direct
Yeah, I
deposit.
remember I mean, I remember being young, depositing my checks. I go into the bank and depositing the checks through the teller. Yeah.
And then yeah, you had to deposit your checks to the bank. So young people today don't know about first of all, they don't know about signing their name. My goddaughter is about to graduate college. Don't know how to sign her
Dang.
name. And um, I still think, eh. My question to you as a mom, what are the parents' responsibility in terms of their children's education?
Honestly, man, I think all of it. I mean, I send my kids to school, but it is I feel like it's my responsibility, all of it. Like, I'm glad they're going there, they're getting education for topics that I don't have to. But when it comes to like life and like what they should know, I take full responsibility for that.
Yeah, um, because like the young lady I was dating, and it was coming up to summertime, and she told her two sons. One was at that time, this a couple of years ago. One was going to the ninth grade, and one was going to the 11th grade. And she gave the one going to ninth grade a book. Said, "You need to read this." He told her, "It's summertime. I'm not reading nothing."
I mean, I could hear my son saying that. My
And
youngest.
I could hear him saying it, but I just think
He
with
wanted
her
to get the say
accepting
so.
it.
Yeah, right.
You see, to me, maybe because I'm a little too old school, but my thing is, you're gonna tell me what you're not gonna
I
do,
know.
but you want stuff all summer.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do.
And I say that to my son. Like, okay, that's cute. You think that?
Right, right. But see, Kristen, see, you're still this. She my age. I'm like, she ain't grow up. I'm not saying you did. She ain't grow up that way with her
Yeah.
kids. She didn't run her mom and dad.
So
And I'm
why do
like, you
you?
just let your boys get away with too much stuff, man. I'm like, and I just, I, they don't eat vegetables. Why not? Oh, they don't want them. What?
Lack of nutrition.
So you're gonna let them die early because
Their minds are not formed. They don't know what they don't know the results of this choice today, right? They don't know because they can't see that. They see now that they only
right.
have so many years of life experience. And that's what I tell my kids too all the time. Like I have, whatever, however, I've got 14 years on you, kid, before you even got here. Like, don't, or more than that. But
Yeah, and I would, but see, here's the thing: she didn't eat vegetables either,
oh, so she relates.
and I would go to her house and she would cook, and I would say, "Where's the vegetables?" Oh, I didn't cook any. All right, well then, what do you have in your refrigerator? Because I'm not eating dinner without that. Oh, I don't have nothing. Okay, I'll be back. Where you going? I'm going to the store.
I'm gonna complete this meal.
Yeah. Oh, so you gotta have vegetables? Yes, I do. I don't want the starch. I eat vegetables and the meat. I'm not going to grow up and eating meat and potatoes only.
Yeah.
I can't. If I don't eat vegetables at a certain time, I can't go to the bathroom.
I
My
mean,
body
vitamins,
is.
yes, vitamins. I mean, there's so many vitamins in fruits and vegetables. Like it's the most natural thing. It's Earth's gift to us. But we've been going to the gym. We really picked it up over spring break. We went 4 times in the week. And then yesterday was Monday. We kicked it off. We went to the gym yesterday. And like he spent 15 minutes running on like I think it's an elliptical that's kind of like
Yep.
this for like
Yeah.
15. And I was just watching him and I was doing the bicycle and I was like, oh my, and he's been swimming laps. It's swimming laps in the pool, ain't no joke. I did it with him. I was like, dang, just one lap. I was already like, oh, okay, this is for real.
Swimming is one of the best exercises ever because it deals with your cardio so much. I'm not. So what are you doing this weekend? What are you what
What's
you
my
so
week
your
look like?
your table is going to be
Oh
for
yeah.
universal wealth?
Yes, I'm gonna do universal wealth. I'll probably have a couple little pink accents on the table, but I'm gonna do universal wealth. So our office faces a Starbucks, and I've got the logo there, and the high school is right here behind this shopping center. So a lot of the parents have already started noticing the logo and stuff. So I want to set a table up there. I got a guy named Hassan who doesn't live too far, and he says that he's gonna come out and stand at our table. And he's 69, and he's very intelligent and very like I could listen to you talk all day too. Like you guys don't rush, like you guys like so anyways, I feel like people will be drawn to talking to him and he'll be able to collect a lot of contact information from them. So he said he'll be out there doing that. I'm gonna be like all around the whole event, just kind of making sure everybody's good and things are going smoothly. We're gonna be playing some games. And I got a little DJ to go out there too, so I'll probably have him like shout out our booth or something at some point. So it'll be
So
fun.
you organize the event?
Yes, me and two other moms, and we have like about 10 other parents that we meet with them once a month, just to kind of delegate certain tasks to them, and of course, get their opinions and ideas on things.
That is good. Was Hassan able to transfer all of the because you was telling me about the uh I don't know, was it 401k or
Oh
Uh,
yes, his friend went out of town, but he's back now. Hassan was here yesterday. He said he's coming today at 4. But his friend is back in town now, and they're supposed to sit and meet again. So I don't know when that's supposed to happen, but he brought it up yesterday. So it's
oh,
just
so it wasn't Hassan that had the money to transfer, it was his friend.
it's his friend. His friend owns
Okay.
a mosque. They're Muslim, and his friend owns a mosque. And but Hassan goes to that mosque, and they do like podcasts and stuff together. So, anyways, yeah. And he was on a podcast a few months. It's in Bangladesh, which is, I don't know. I'm not geographically. I don't want to mess it up. But anyways, he's from Bangladesh, and they're doing another one. He said next month, and so he said the last one he did was very high level, sort of like our presentation type. I watched it, but I couldn't understand it. But they had almost 1,000 people tuning in. So I mean, their community a lot. I guess like all over Texas. There's plenty of them. So and he said the next one they're gonna do, he's gonna be much more in depth with it for the high net worth people. So I'm just praying over us on. I'm like, come on with the sir. Do what you're
That
gonna do.
is
I don't know.
good.
I know.
You know, it's the thing about like those groups of people, uh, when one gets in, they bring the whole community.
Yeah, because there's only, I mean, 1,000 sounds like a lot, but if you're talking about white people or something, that's it's gonna be way more than 1,000, right? So like, so it's like, wow, it's like literally almost all of them are connected in this community, and because it's their language, and it's actually not that many, really, if you think about it. So, anyways,
No,
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like, I don't know, God is good. I'm like, I never would have thought I'm gonna be. And yesterday, man, I had a very spiritual weekend. I know I was very surface level when you asked me how was your weekend. It was very spiritual. Sunday morning, I went and did hot yoga. While I was in yoga, like I was doing a breathing exercise and didn't realize I completely left the room. Like I came back into awareness, and they were doing poses, and I was still just like on the floor in prayer. Like, and so I just, anyways, I felt my body jerk, and then I look up, and everybody, it's a whole classroom of people, like, and like they're all standing up doing this, and I'm like on the floor, like I was gone. I don't know where I was, but I was not there. So that happened to me, and then I came home, took a shower, I went to church, and I swear, like the pastor, like there was a point where he said, like, and I feel like God is keep telling me like I need to relax because I am stepping into a whole new season where I'm sort of like I'm trying not to stress out because I know God's in control, but like things are different now in a lot of areas. So I'm like, God, this is you because I don't even know what to do right now. Like I'm gonna keep on working and keep on because I'm in a whole new world, right? So, anyways, but in church, I felt like the pastor literally like he went like this, like at the front of the stage as he was preaching, and we made eye contact, and like I took that like God was like, I'm talking to you, like, and he like it was him just saying like just receive, like just relax and receive, man. And I was like, I kind of like was like, like because I felt like he was talking to me so closely, like so that happened, and then took the kids to lunch. We had a great lunch, and then after lunch, my son said that he had wanted to buy a hoodie, and God told me don't be cheap because I be cheap, man. I'll be like, let's go to Ross clearance. Like it's springtime, I'm sure there's that's just the way I've always been. But like so God told me like go to Kohl's, which I never fucking go to. Excuse me, I never go to Kohl's. Like who the fuck goes to Kohl's? Like that's like why are you gonna pay extra for no reason? But it was like God telling me like your sons need that confidence to know that like they need to get used to this, you know? And so we went to Kohl's, and my son picked up a hoodie. It was just a solid black hoodie, no logos, nothing. And he was like, dang, $30. And he put it back. And so we were just walking around, and then we passed her, and I just took it. I just grabbed him like $30 hoodie, like big deal. 30 bucks, Kristen. You're not gonna let your son have it. Like my sons are worth everything. Like so anyways, just sort of this whole mindset of that. And then my son was like actually very excited when it was good material, it was, and he's been wearing
yeah,
it. He wore it yesterday, wore it today, and like he just looks, and he had ordered himself a little chain. He saved his money after he was working all summer, so he ordered himself a little chain. I could just see his little swag coming in. I'm like, so, anyways, it was a great day. I know it sounds maybe, I don't know, but you know, when you're experiencing it, you're hearing God, going through the movements of what God's telling you to do. And then I ordered this little rug off of, look, I put my little altar in here. And then I ordered this rug. It's got like greenery on it, and it's pink, and it just matches everything. I'm like, it's just God just doing it, man. I'm just going with the flow.
that is good. That is good. it's, God is, he's good. He's awesome. Um, I understand what you're saying. It's to me, it's like I'm in a transition period. I really don't even understand everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And there's just some things I'm challenged with right now. And I'm like, God. And it feels to me like I hear him when he tell me about other people because I speak to them and they say, "Oh my God, thank you, I needed that." And I'm like, "All right, but then I don't hear you for me." I said, "You talk to me and give me information about other people. Tell them this, say this to that person, preach this, do this, and everybody tell me how they are blessed." And I said, "But I'm struggling with some things, and I don't hear you talking to me." And sometimes I get frustrated. So, like yesterday, I was just tired. I was just tired. I said, "God, I am mentally tired, mentally drained." Um, and and I was watching. I don't watch TV during the day, but yesterday I was tired. I sat on the couch. I ate, sat on the couch, and I was watching this podcast called The Pivot, and it's three NFL players, and he was talking to a guy that plays on the Steelers. Now, his father went to high school, not with me, but in my era.
Okay.
His father was, we went to rival high schools. And his father ended up going to college at University of Pittsburgh with my best friend. So I knew of his dad and everything, but his dad died young, unfortunately. And he was talking about dealing with his dad because now his younger brother is on the Steelers, but his younger brother is 10 years younger than him. And it's like, I'm just really meeting my brother now. He said, because when I went away to college, my brother was like 6 or 7.
Mm.
So I didn't, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He said
Big
when
difference.
dad died, he was 6, he was like 7 or 8 when I went away to college. So now he's on my team. And he's like, yo, he's my brother, but he's my teammate. And being that his father went to University of Pittsburgh, his father was like an icon. And he said when he got to the Steelers, his father was like good or bad. There was good from, because his father like ran Pittsburgh. And but he played in the NFL in Atlanta. And he said, I was depressed. He said, I was depressed and didn't know I was depressed. And I go through these periods and I'm like, why am I going through this? And I was like, am I depressed? And this is what I'm saying this morning. And this is when I know I am going through a bout of depression. I'm tired all the time. I am tired
I am
all the
too,
time.
man. I am too.
And you don't realize it. And I don't even know why I'm depressed. Things are going on and they're not moving the way I would desire them to move, and things are really slow. And uh, and you try to stay upbeat and you try to keep going. You try to keep going. And that's why yesterday I said, God, I'm just tired.
Yep.
I said, I am mentally tired. And I'm glad I don't check out the way I used to, because I'll go get something to drink. I go get something to smoke. I go, and you know what? I'm gonna relax. But that ain't the way to do things. First of all, you're 60, you ain't 30 no more, so you ain't 20. Don't act like a kid. But yeah, this morning I woke up and I did not get out of bed till 7:45.
You
And you know that's late for me.
I know, but I just want to say this because it instantly came to my brain. Um your sleeping in or your I don't know, I want a better way to say this, but like it's still better than somebody else's best. Like so anyways, give yourself grace is all I'm saying because I've been in a sleepy period too. Like, but I feel like God did this to me like 7 years ago when I sort of came to this awakening. Like I was going to bed really early and sleeping more than normal, and I've been sort of doing that again. But I think it's like God just needs you to rest because He's taking care of some stuff. So anyways, not to cut you off, please continue.
No, that's perfect because you think in your head, you do, and you're like, all right, what were you doing? And most of my problems is, and I just get tired of being by myself all the time, and I'm
I get
like,
tired of myself.
yeah, and I'm gonna say like Terrell Owens used to say, I love me some me.
I do too.
I do, but I get tired of just being with me sometimes. I like to talk. I like to have dealt conversation.
Yes, I
I'm a
understand.
talkative guy,
Yes,
and that's just who I am. And I'm like,
like
then
dang, I'm too cool to be
I call
alone.
somebody. Yeah, I call somebody and they're not available. Then they're not available. I'm like, I only got two friends to talk to nowadays.
Oh, I know. And yeah, I totally relate and I know exactly what you're saying.
So I just laughed to myself. All right, God. And you're always on point for other people. That gets tiring. That gets tiring because you're the pastor. No, I don't feel like being a pastor. No, I'm Alan. That's what I tell people all the time. Just call me Alan. I know it's out of respect. I understand that, but just call me Alan. I don't feel like being.
Don't put me on a pedestal. Yeah.
I don't. I don't. I know you probably didn't see this commercial, but it's a commercial with Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade. And you know how they make a big statue of somebody
Mhm.
and they reveal the statue? So they have this statue and they got the cover over it, and it's the revealing of the statue,
Uh-huh.
right? And when they reveal the statue, it's a long podium with a little statue of him on the top of it. And Dwayne Wade's like, "Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah." And he is so mad because it's all podium, but
Why I gotta be so small? That is so funny.
and it is hilarious. And he's sitting there, and Dwayne Wade's the whole time like, "Yeah, yeah, all right, all right, all right." So, uh, yeah, that is it. And it's springtime. It's spring now. Can you believe that?
We're physically entering a new season, emotionally and spiritually. And go ahead.
You just no. Keep going. I was like, yep. You just said something key right there.
And we're going I don't know, going through winter. I love winter, but it is the whole shedding of hibernation and so we need a good rest before we get this new energy and new release. Like, but I think like the depression, like, and I hate labeling it like that too, because it almost sounds like I'm giving myself an excuse by saying that. And I'm not trying to give myself an excuse, but emotionally, what the hell is going on? Because this don't feel good. And I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's like,
reality.
yes. And I think what I tell myself is like, okay, where in yourself, Kristen, are you not aligned? Because if you're completely aligned and centered all the way down, you shouldn't be feeling like this. And I can honestly say I know the areas and I am working on them. But sometimes things just can't be overnight because you have to allow God's hand and you can't be the manipulator, enforcer, and because it's disruptive to everybody around you, right? So it's like you have to sort of let God work, and but it does, and it always does, and you're gonna come back, and you're gonna have that great feeling, again, gotta get through it.
Yeah, it like anything else, it's a season. This too shall pass,
Yes.
and it ain't gonna last long. But
Mm.
you are absolutely right. Changing of the seasons is huge, and I love spring. I do not like winter.
I can appreciate winter. I don't like to be cold, but I can appreciate winter. He's like, no, I don't
I
even appreciate
I I appreciate it because it's God's creation.
it. Amen. Yes.
Other than that, you accept what you got. I mean, to me, this was another good winter. A good winter to me, it means very little snow.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that either.
Cold, I deal with the cold because we had a lot of cold days in January. All that meant was I didn't walk out my house. Got food, then got to go to the store. So cold doesn't bother me. But even if it's snowing, I don't have to go out the house. But if you have to in the snow, it makes travel so much a pain in the behind.
Hmm.
And everybody don't know how to drive in the snow.
That's exactly what I was thinking as soon as you were saying that. I was like, it's just too many people around here, and they do not know how to. Not all of them, but too many people that don't know how to drive and try.
So when did you start your podcast?
Oh, that was the first one we did. And so actually, Alan, I think we've already got some good content. I'm gonna make kind of a short one. I'm gonna chop it up, edit it. I'm gonna give it a different intro for you because it's different. And I'm gonna send it to you first and let you look at it. So I just wanna I just figured because after the last conversation you and I had, which we've had lots of good conversation, but I really regretted not recording the last one. I just felt
That
like there was
was,
so much material in there, like financial education stuff that we were even talking
yeah,
to. And I'm not
yeah,
gonna force it. Like, I mean, if we wanna, what I did with Jeremy is I did create like a interview style where I asked him questions, he responded. I'd be happy to do that with you. I would love to ask you questions if you're open for it. I sent him the questions ahead of time so he could look at them, and if he wanted to add anything in or take anything out, he could. And then I was like, okay, well, let's do one Zoom where we're just going through it, and then that way we can take away from that, and then we'll do a second Zoom for it. What ended up happening is on the first Zoom it went so good, we just used that one. Like, oh, why we
that's
record this? This was great. So I
right.
can do the same thing for you. I'll come up with the questions, I'll email it to you, and then we'll pick a time to sit down. Give me an hour or so, which normally we do anyway, and I'll ask you the questions and go from there.
That's fine.
You down with it?
That's
Okay,
fine. Yeah.
cool.
Because Kristen, matter of fact, is stuff we need to do with each other. What I'm going to do is I pay attention to if we're not up on the digital dynamics of right now, we're going to miss out.
Yeah, we're gonna fall behind.
We're going to fall behind. And I watch two guys in particular from a biblical business perspective. One is Wayne Malcolm.
Okay.
He's called the Bible Bishop. No,
Mhm.
business bishop. The
Business.
business bishop Wayne Malcolm. And the other one I've told you before, name is Myron Golden.
I have been listening to some of his stuff.
And they're both on par. But Wayne Malcolm is from London. Well, he's from
Oh, okay.
England. And he keeps talking about the dynamics of shifting and how this world is shifting. And he talked about a 40-year plan that is obsolete. And if you think about it, he called it 40, 40, 40. He said we lived in a 40-40-40 world, meaning we worked 40 years, we worked 40 hours a week, and I forgot what the last 40 was. He said, but those days are over. He said, working 40 hours
It's not
on a
necessary
regular
anymore.
job. Yeah, because his point is working 40 years for the man, it ain't going to happen. You're not guaranteed a job nowadays. And AI is going to take over a lot of jobs. And if you're not up on technology,
Yeah.
you're going. We're in the information age. We're in the technology age. And back in the day when you needed somebody to promote you, you promote yourself now. You put yourself out there. It's up to you.
It is.
It's up to you. So what are you the subject matter expert of? So, you know, that's why it's a lot on my mind thinking about what I got to do, what am I called to do. And
Yeah.
between ministry and business is a ministry. It's like, all right,
Yes.
God, what are we focusing on? So,
It doesn't matter at the end of the day what service we're providing. Like, is God going to come up anywhere in that conversation? I try to, God bless you. It's like I
thank you.
try to get him in there wherever I can, and let the people take it how they want to take it. That's not my job. My job is just to let people know they're seen and loved, and God's there.
Did you guys come up with the time for our team to meet?
Oh, yes, and I forgot to tell you, oh, well, this was the PNC agents. Well, I was gonna leave it alone since Jason pushed the time back,
Okay.
for if you wanna just get on his meetings. We are doing PNC meetings now Thursdays at 7. But, Alan, like, if you wanted us to do, I just don't know, like, a lot of people on my team don't even get on Zoom. You and Cecily are like the only life agents that I really have. Now I have Rachel and Grace, but they're usually commuting during the mornings and evenings because they live out in the country and they work so far away. So, I mean, I just don't want to make you guys when we can just do. I just at first was doing that because I was like, that is late for you guys. 9 o'clock. I don't expect you to want to be on Zoom at 9 p.m. I don't want to be on Zoom at 9 p.m. So I was like, okay, let's do this for our team just so we can get together and touch base. But if you're good with just getting on, and now Monday, Jason wasn't even on there. So I'm wondering if he's going to be passing that to the other people on the team. So we'll see. Let's check out what he's doing.
From a biblical perspective, um, he should.
He should. I agree with that 1,000%.
He should. And I tell you, the biblical perspective was when the children of Israel left Egypt and Moses handled all their affairs in the wilderness. And they were coming to him day and night, and he was killing himself doing everything. And Jethro was his father-in-law. And Jethro said to him, here's what you need to do. You need to surround yourself with X amount of people. Let them judge the people. Let them handle the affairs. And only the big ones you take on.
Yep.
And there's really no need for Jason as the owner of the company to be on these meetings every day of the week.
Mm-mm.
Now, it's a matter of him feeling confident with the people that's running the
Leading.
meetings. And that's the only challenge. So, like the newer people will not know no difference one way or the
No.
other.
Right. And I have been saying that for over a year now that there was one point where they did cut back the meetings for a while, and I told Jason, good, you deserve that time. Like he started these back in 2009, no, 2009, no, the end of 2018 or 19. It was 2019, and he's been doing them since. He was doing them 7 days a week when we first started. We were getting on Sunday mornings too. And so, I mean, I think that he served his purpose. He has kept this group together by doing that. I for sure don't think we would have grown as much as we did. When we first did the Zoom, there were 5 of us on there. Me, Johnny, Jason, Alex Lopez, and there's somebody else. There's like 5 of us. And then slowly started growing. And now got 80 to 100 people on there on average, I would say. And you know what you said about him catching the big whales and big things, and I honestly felt that for myself. Like I felt like that's me this season too. Like I've grown a front line, and these are, and because I'm thinking about it as everybody's growing their lines, I'm here for support. But I told Cecily the other day, I was like, you don't need an upline. I said, you just need a friend in business that you can turn to and ask questions, because I've been where you haven't been yet in certain areas, not right. And maybe sometimes the teacher becomes the student becomes the teacher, right? And so she could surpass me at any point. But I just told her, you just use me for whatever you need, because I'm here to help you and guide you. But you don't need an upline or any of that stuff. This is your business. So God's been telling me that, like, you deal with the people I am giving you directly, and just help them help their people, right? And same thing with clients too. I've been writing a lot of big premiums lately. I've got some truck drivers coming through, which is bigger premium than personal auto. So I'm bringing Jeremy with me because I need somebody else like to take those big clients on. So we've been working on that and passing all the small stuff down to the new agents that are freshly licensed. They need to get their feet wet. So God's pulling, he's doing it for all of us in time, right? In seasons and in different areas. So, uh,
So property and casualty is growing for you then.
oh, it is growing, definitely.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Glad
I
to hear
know
that.
we want everything overnight, but I understand it's, and maybe at some point it will be like, okay, you scaled it to where we needed you to scale it to, and then maybe there's some big boom and there's a big, we'll see. I don't know what God's plan is, but I know right now we're in building. I do plan by the end of summer being pretty much, and I mean being in all 50 states and just writing business freely, and not having to work on that part of it anymore is going to free up so much more time where I can service more clients and do more things. So
When are you going to Arizona?
I so originally I wanted to go in June, but now they're talking about having the event here in Dallas in June, which to me, I'm like, I don't want to fly back in the middle of that makes no sense. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna wait till they set that time and then decide if they do it in July, maybe I'll still go in June. But then I was thinking, why don't I do it mid-July to mid-August? I could do that too. But I don't know. I don't want to cut it too close to school starting back, because I always like to spend a lot of time with my kids, like, doing stuff before that. So I don't know. I'm sort of just waiting for the event date to come out, and then I'm gonna plan accordingly.
What did your oldest son decide to do about school?
Oh, he still wants to do, okay. As of this morning, there was a new conversation though. Um, he said that he got a scholarship from another school called Tarleton, which I went there for one semester. It's a university, but it's about 2 hours away. And so I shouldn't have maybe said this, but I'm like, you passing up the one down the street, but you want to go to the one 2 hours away. He's like, oh, I didn't know it was 2 hours away. And then I was like, oh, stupid Kristen, maybe I should not even say it, because I don't mind if he goes 2 hours away, give him some experience, not a bad thing. And so he's like, I didn't know, which I guess he was gonna find out it was 2 hours away eventually. But he was like, no, he's like, I really just want to do my 1 year community college and go from there. Like, so I was gonna reach out to the Arlington campus not far from here, and just, I don't know, maybe set up a meeting with a counselor and see if maybe talking to a counselor would change his mind at all.
He
So
doesn't have a high school counselor to talk to at all?
I'm sure he does. That's a good idea too. I didn't even think of doing that. Yeah, maybe do that.
But see, here's the thing. I'm not going to say this. High school counselors are sometimes biased. And I will say that to say, now, again, we're talking about eons ago when I went to high school. So you got to realize that.
Me too, man.
I,
It's different.
yeah, 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 yeah. You just got out of high school. No, I'm
Okay,
playing.
okay.
uh, like, see, when I it was time for me to go to college, my mom and I didn't have examples of family members that have been to college before. So my mother didn't really know. So I sort of want to start thinking about going to a HBCU. And once I realized I wasn't going to get a scholarship to play football because my coach reneged on his promise, I thought about going to HBCU.
What uh is that tell me what that is.
Historically Black college.
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to be wrong. Okay.
That's all right. If I say something and you don't know, ask me because I thought you knew what it. But it's this HB, historically Black college or university.
Okay.
So those are like your Howards. Most of those are down south. They're 90% Black schools. A lot of prominent. So once I wasn't getting a football scholarship, I was like, I want to go to a Black college. Now, not so much because I was still in play mode. I wasn't really ready to go to college to go to college. I was ready to go to college to have fun. And I look back
Keep the
now,
party
that's what I
going.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were sitting down with my counselor, and I had 3 schools I wanted to go to. I picked Rutgers, University of Delaware, and Dell State. And the counselor said to my mom, I wouldn't send him to Dell State. That was an older white guy thinking that historically Black college is not good for me. My mom didn't know enough to say maybe it's better for him. I have friends that went to Dell State the same time that I went, got out of college, got their degrees, had done well. So it was an old white mentality that
Mm-hmm.
I was in.
I understand what you're saying now. Yeah.
And okay. So I didn't apply to nothing. And then my mom asked me, what are you doing? That's when she said, you got 3 choices. You got to choose. You either go to college, you could go to the service. I was like, ain't doing that. Or you could get a job and move out. I'm like, I'm not ready to be an adult yet. So I'll go to college. So I applied to Rutgers and I applied to the University of Delaware. Now, I did not get accepted to Rutgers because my application got put in late. If I would have got accepted to Rutgers, I would have gone to Rutgers. But instead, I went to University of Delaware. And University of Delaware was lily white. A friend of mine from high school the year before was already at University of Delaware. He was a guy that I played football with. We party hard. It, he's one of them dudes that even till the day we laugh. So I asked him, yo, man, how many Black people at University of Delaware? And he said 300. And I thought he was lying. Like, how he high all the time. He don't know what he's
You don't
talking
know
about.
he's on.
And even another one of my good friends, the best man in my wedding, I was best man in his wedding. We went to high school together and we went down there together. I don't even know how we both ended up at University of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got down there the first day, I'm looking around, man. I'm like, in 3 hours, I could count how many Blacks I saw in one hand. I was like, oh man. I said, how he was right. It's only 300. Now it's 15,000 students with 300 Blacks in the whole school.
Mm.
And I live in a dorm, 4-story, 4 floors, but I'm the only Black guy except the RA. I'm the only Black guy in the whole dorm. Now I went to predominantly white grammar school. I went to predominantly white high school. And I'm like, man, I couldn't get put in the dorm where there was some other Black people at. And I was like, come on.
Had you on an island.
Yeah, so that has really been like my life thing. And I was like, God, you've always had me separate from my folk. And I, that don't bother me but people will say to me, wow, you're from Newark? You're not like other people from Newark. And I'm like, all right, stop.
What's that
What is
mean?
that?
Yeah.
What does that mean? And in my head, I'm like, that's kind of a racist statement you're making. Uh, you're a different type of black guy. And people say stupid stuff like that to me, Krista. Yeah, you're not like other black people I know. Oh, I have black friends. I'm like, no, that's nice.
Yesterday it was me, a song from Bangladesh, and Dave. He's a white dude, and we were sitting at the table, and we were talking about this. We were like, "You just got to use what God gave you." Like, I am a white American, 38-year-old female. Like, you're a 69-year-old Bangladesh gentleman. Like, but we're all the fucking same on the inside. We are all energy from God in different disguises, right? Like, that's the way I look at it. But it's like people that ask stupid shit like that, like it's where like are you human in there? Like who are you? Like what are you? Like it
Yeah,
blows my mind.
and when you talk about overcoming this stuff, you do. I mean,
You have
and,
to transmute it to not just rage.
uh, and you know, you would hear this stuff like one of the things, Kristen. I was in a biology class, and it was a big auditorium. It was like 300 students in the class, and I'm the only black guy in the class. And I'm like, out of 300 students, there's not one other black person in this class. But here's the mind games that the teachers would play.
Mm.
I would never, I wouldn't talk. I'd go to class, take my notes. Teacher didn't know nobody's name hardly. And you raise your hand, he'd be like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. So one day I raised my hand, and he wanted me to make sure I know he know who I am. I raised my hand to ask him a question. He said, yes, Mr. Cooper, how may I help you?
Why that single me out like that?
I'm like, I've never met you. How do you know my name? But it's the era that I lived in. It was like,
I could not imagine. I know it was totally different.
yeah, yeah. I want you to know I got my eye on you and I know who you are. I was like, all right. And that's the stuff you dealt with all the time. And I remember when me and my roommate, we worked at Pizza Hut. So on Friday and Saturday, uh, you always brought in two people at 5 and two people at 6. One person would prepare the meals, one person would go to the dish room. So my roommate was like the lead. So he was always preparing the meals. And some kind of way at 6 o'clock, the girl that came in with me always beat me in. So she would be preparing the pizzas. So I was always stuck. In the weekends, doing the dishes. But the part
You
of the
know what you
problem
was
is,
doing? Shit, I ain't doing no damn
yeah. So part of the problem is I'll be smoking weed to the last minute and just get there on time to work, right? So one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna get there first. And I beat her in. So now me and my roommate, man, we're flowing. We knocking these pizzas out. Boom, everything is going good. Boom, boom, boom. Ain't nothing backed up. Boom, boom, boom. We're knocking them out. Then the manager comes to us and said, gentlemen, I want to ask you to do me a favor. We're like, what? I'm going to need you two to go back to do the dishes. I want to bring the other two people up. Here's what happened. The white people that was ordering their pizzas didn't like us preparing their pizzas. It was okay if one prepared their pizza. But two black guys preparing their pizza, they complained to the manager.
I'm so sorry.
And the manager came back and said something to us. And, you know, our question was, hey, man, are we behind on pizzas? No, 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 no. You're good. Uh, so are the pizzas wrong? No, no, they're good. So why? I said we both like, you've never done this before. So why are you doing this? And he didn't want to tell us, but we knew why. So we're like, no, we're not going. So we just kept making the pizzas. And he came back a few years later. Fellas, you guys got to go to the back. Why? Tell us the truth. Tell us how racist these people are out here, and tell us you
Exactly.
scared to talk to them,
Yeah.
and we'll go to the back. We got to do it anyway. So he wouldn't tell us why. And I knew why, because we kept watching him talk to the customers. So he insisted us going to the back. So we went to the back and sat down. And we refused to do the dishes. And the dishes was getting piled up. He's like, fellas, you gotta do these dishes. Like, ah. So he's trying to get the dishes done because now more people are coming in and they don't have plates and bowls and stuff for the people. We could care less. So he's begging us, oh, fellas, please, please, please. We said, all right, we'll do it. But what do? We start singing We Shall Overcome. So we're doing the dishes singing We Shall Overcome. And we're singing loud. They could hear it in the diner. And he kept running in the back. Fellas, can you keep it down? We're like, no. I was real radical in college.
Yeah, I see it. So y'all don't hear it.
And now we're back there.
Oh
We're
my God.
slamming dishes down, and he's yelling, and and so we did our job, and at the end of the day, uh, he said something to us. We was like, man, get out of here.
No respect
And
for you at this point.
no. And then one day, the other little manager, he was shorter than me. I was real short then too. And this dude had the nerve to pat me on the head. Kristen, I looked him in his eyes. I said, I'm going to tell you straight up right now, bro. You ever touch my head again, I'm going to punch you straight in your face. He's like, what do you mean? How many have to buy? I said, pat me on my head again. Because that's degrading.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that like other people think it's, oh, don't, how do I put this? That other people don't care how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like their own hate, I guess, is more important than what this human being might
Yeah.
feel. Like, and I'm so sorry, man. Like, as a woman, I can say, like, it's different. It's not the same. But I've had moments in my life where, like, a man has made me feel like my feelings don't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters what I want and what I say. And so it's not the same thing.
No, Kristen, it is though. It
But
is.
I just am sorry and and the thing is, it's not because in public, like there's groups of people that may have made you feel that way, and they in public can could do that. And I'm sorry because that's so fucked up, man. That I'm so sorry.
But see, here's the thing. That stuff never bothered me. Um, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it'll piss you off, make you want to fight, just
I mean,
straight,
as a
make you
man,
want
it's
to fight.
different, I guess. For me, it's like your feelings get like, wow, like
Yeah,
I am just
yeah.
not valid here as a human being at all.
Nah, cause see,
To
well, I'd
you,
be ready to
not in
fight
real
in a
life.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, shoot. And when you think about it, so what it did for me is I remember dating a young lady, and I broke up with her, and I just destroyed her feelings, and I felt so bad. And I said, I'll never do that again. Because right after that, I was dating somebody and they broke my heart. And I remember, oh my God, I was so heartbroken. I was like 22 years old. And I said, I never want to make anybody feel like that again.
And you know that, and we know that as we get older, all you gotta do is just be honest all the time. Because that way you can't. My son the other day, okay, and I'm raising men. I'm not raising mama's boys, just so you know.
Right,
I am,
right.
so don't mess with them. But so the other day, Fabian, my younger one, he gets this coat and it's a nice jacket. Like he's wearing it around the house, like it's white and it's got like gold embroidery. And I told him you look like a church member or something. Like it was a really nice coat. And he was like, man, the girl's gonna be all over me. And they're gonna be like, can I be your girlfriend? And I'm gonna say, no, I already got six. And I just started laughing. I said, you know what? And that's okay if you say that. What's not okay is if you got six and you lie to her, making her feel like she's the only one. I said, you just always be honest. That way they can never blame you. Just don't ever lie or bring like I don't care if you do say that. That's honest. And then I said maybe she'll be number seven because she don't care. Like I don't know.
Because Kristen, if you, hey, you'll never know. I'm not trying to be funny. You'll never know what a girl will sign up for.
You don't know. But if you lie
Let them
to
know
her
though.
and lead her on, and because this has happened to me, I believe I'm the only one. I'm believing your sweet words, and I'm giving you 100. I'm giving you 1,000% of myself, everything, and then to bust my bubble and find out, oh, you're doing that to five other girls too. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Her friends got married in our 20s. And he said to me, yo, bruh, this right here is a ladies' magnet. He said, I could guarantee you I'll pull more women than you. And he ain't lying.
And it's
But
hard. Relationships are so hard too because we're all so different, right? And so it's like you're going to encounter things you've never encountered with this person before, and then you can't predict the future either. This is something as I'm getting older as a woman, like you can't be so demanding of a man to understand they're not women. First of all, they're not wired the same way. So it's like, I mean, really, it's just got to come down to communication and yeah.
I love your perspective all the time is because you are upbeat and you are positive and you see the good. Sometimes I'm like that daggone Kristen boy. She's so upbeat.
Because the opposite of that is whoop, and I don't want to be down there.
Cool, cool, cool. So
Okay, well, I do have a Zoom at 11:30. I'm sure you got stuff you got to skedaddle and do too. What?
yes, yeah,
What
that's
was
cool.
that?
No, because I'm looking at this text and I'm like, I don't know who this is.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's always a pleasure.
always.
Uh, whenever you want to do the Zoom, the
Yes, I'm gonna send you an email. I'll get through it today, and then I'll email you like a list of questions, and then you edit them. If you want to take anything out, add anything in, send it back to me, and then we'll get on Zoom again, and we'll just run through it and see how that turns out. And if we feel like we need to do it again, then we can do it again.
whatever you want to do, my dear.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
leave it
that's
at
the
that
other thing
then.
I was talking about. I want to start doing a webinar.
Okay.
Don't know how to do it, don't know what I'm doing. Me and Jerome, I told Jerome, we gotta start doing a webinar. So those are the things like when we talk about doing multimedia and things like that, we gotta work
I
it
can't
out.
wait. You
All
know,
right.
I'm a supporter. Whatever you put out, I'm gonna publish and like and comment.
Exactly. And I'm so terrible at responding to you guys stuff. Even like Savita, she responds all the time. I'm like, how do you have the time or the energy? But
I
she's
know
super energetic. I'm like,
she is. I love Savita. Who doesn't?
I'm like, shh. But Kristen, I love you. Thank you
I
so
love
much.
you.
It's a
I
pleasure
just
talking to you.
always,
And I
man.
look forward to hearing from you.
I'll talk to you very soon, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.